Okay, Paddy, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us why you're running?
Yeah, I'm Paddy Rockett. I am currently the Campaign and Services Officer, and I'm running for VP Academic this year.
So, Class Reps Council has consistently failed to reach quorum this year.
Yeah.
What would you do to fix it as Education Officer?
I think the fundamentals of Class Reps Council is that it's more of a talk, and then we ask a question and see if anyone has anything to say. It's not open enough. It is very structured, and it is supposed to be, but it's not engaging by any means. It's sit there because you have to go there, or else you won't be a class rep anymore. We're not actively engaging reps enough to tell them to go and talk to their classes and then bring us feedback. We should be listening. Like every year, everyone says that we should be listening to class reps, not us telling them our officer reports or anything like that. It has to be more engaging. And I think that in terms of training and Reps Council itself, that it has to be more active in that sense. And I think with the kind of attitude I have, I think I'm quoted as being, very good in terms of rallying people and stuff like that. I'm not a man to sit down and, talk about an issue. It's about, working on it and putting a bit of action into it. So that's what I'd probably push towards it.
There's a new departmental rep system,
yeah,
but a lot of people don't understand it. How would you publicise it, and how would you make sure everybody understood it?
It's one of the big things for me, and it's literally about any issue regarding academics and education, is that the online videos that I was pushing for, if any of you seen the mental health one that we're pushing out actually next week, but it got leaked, it's pretty good. But it's essentially just a 2-minute breakdown of what everything is. So some of the things that are on the list are union governance, what happens if I fail an exam, what is an I grade, how do I speak with my advisor, that kind of stuff. These are basic little things that the academic officer currently gets asked constantly. Like, people call in the whole time, but it's just something that could be made easily accessible. Small button on a website, click on it and it's there. In terms of what departmental reps are, I hope by the end of this I will be in my role as Campaign Service Officer, pushing to have them fully elected by the start of the new term, so we literally have a good team running into the next year, and then publicising those people for class reps and for students to go to them, so you know exactly who they are. Like that wall, that's currently has our faces in the Students' Union, that should not be us by any means. That should be who's who in the union and who to talk to and their contact. Simple. It's very, very easy, and it would open it up so much more.
This year the union has been brought into disrepute, let's face it. It's been forced to close 3 shops and cut 2 officers.
Yeah.
Why should students vote you, as a member of the current team, back in again?
I think in my term, one of the biggest things that I found was I'm not very happy sitting in an executive meeting where I am mandated to say yes to something. I think people voted me for my honesty, and students voted for me. I do not think that this year we were accountable or transparent in anything, and it was something that I put in a blog that caused a lot of controversy. Of course it did, because it said exactly how I felt, and I felt we were not talking to our students and offering them options. We were giving them options. We decided, 9 people in a meeting. That's not right. In terms of, this is the students' union, not the executive union, and it needed to be more open. You need something that is open discussion, just even to debate a certain issue. Like you saw the EGM. The EGM spoke exactly what I said in a blog, was that people were annoyed and pissed off at the fact that we were not talking to them. I think that one of my main things this year was that I remained honest and told people exactly how I felt. And if something was wrong, I'd say it. Now, most officers would find that difficult to work with, but I'm sorry, that's what I got voted in, and I didn't get voted with the highest number of votes ever recorded for a sabbatical officer because of the fact that I would sit and do something that would be against the students.
Great. The Co-op office has received a number of complaints over the years. Would you take a stance? Would you take the university to task on the issues students have raised, and what promises can you make?
Well, I think in terms of any kind of protest or any action that you can take against something that is that students are highlighting as wrong, you go about it first through written dialogue, meetings, so that if they're not yielding the results the students want, then you take a different type of action. I've heard of sleep-ins, sit-ins, that kind of stuff. They're awareness campaigns more than anything else for maybe a poor job or poor co-op that people are getting, or even the option to do modules that are irrelevant to you. I think I would publicise it a hell of a lot more, and again, with my talent for rallying people, it'd be a university, like it would be college-wide, that this is an issue, and I think I could mobilise enough people to get people to listen. I have a good relationship with the university at the moment. I'm not an antagonist by any stretch of the word, but they like me, so I think we could negotiate something that is, it'd be a long-term plan. I'm not going to say it's going to be fixed like that, because it isn't, but it will require, I'd want student experience, because I've only ever dealt with teaching practice, and that has worked well for me. It does have a couple of issues, but in terms of co-op, I'd have a co-op focus group in terms of the experiences they've had, the experience that their classmates are having. We bring them to the table. I'd like a fuller review of the service, actually, to be quite honest.
And I have to ask,
Go for it.
yourself and Kelly O'Brien have had some arguments in the past year. If you were elected again, do you think you could bury the hatchet for the good of the union?
I think we have. I mean, like the thing that I said already on boards is that myself and Kelly are very, very passionate, but very, very vocal about what we do. Put everything into our job, and I won't say that any of the other officers do. We all do. We've had a difficult year, and of course, you know, emotions are going to run high. But I think in remaining professional, it was unprofessional, and we apologise for it. I mean, it was the first thing that I knew I had to do. But again, I published a blog that stated my fears, and it was the exact same things that the students had with regard to the union. So I don't feel sorry for that. I feel sorry for the way that it has come out. But since then, both Kelly and myself, we're actually really good mates. Like, and we were mates before this. So yeah, I can't see it being an issue, and I can understand why people are interested. Most people are at the EGM to see a bonfire more than anything else. But no, I think I know myself. I can work with anyone. It's just the dynamic of what I need to do and what I promised to do. I have to be able to do that. Otherwise, I'm not a proper elected officer.
And just anything you'd like to add?
I suppose if you want to just come up and talk to us, that like one of the biggest issues that I'd be pushing would be a union forum. In terms of accountability and transparency, it was a huge issue this year. Union forums they're just so open in terms of accounts and everything. It's just, if you come up, we have a full diagrammatic layout of what it is, and it's so simple. I know the class rep structure and the faculty rep structure is a bit complex, but I can break that down fairly easy. But union forums are literally just a student think tank. Like, we don't all have the answers, we don't by any means, but there's definitely students who do have ideas, and we should take that on rather than confine it to just a room of people that just got elected.